Hi, my name is Colin Andrews Egbert, co-founder and CEO of RealEstateInvestor.com. And RealEstateInvestor.com is actually a community, online community of real estate investors who are all together, willing to learn, willing to share, help and motivate, inspire in a crazy market that we're in. RealEstateInvestor.com is there with the best tools and resources as well as the community to be able to help you succeed. So hope to see you there. The article that I'm going to go over, and I wrote several articles, but there's lots of different ways that I like to learn. The best way that I like to learn is through either listening to something that I can throw into my car, or something that I can just watch on video. Reading article after article, for me, a lot of people like it, but for me it's a little bit challenging. So I'm actually going to read one of my articles and do a little bit of commentary, so it's just a different medium that you can be able to get some input out. So I'm going to jump right into it. This article is titled Investing in Foreclosures. Why do short sales? If you're in real estate or looking to get into it, buying pre-foreclosures can be very profitable. However, a lot of people misunderstand just exactly what it is. If you're interested in becoming involved in pre-foreclosures, read on. First, a brief discussion on how the foreclosure process works. When someone buys a house, they normally put down a small down payment and then get a loan from the bank or mortgage broker for the balance of the price. The loan is usually a mortgage or deed of trust secured by the property. If the lender does not receive prompt and up-to-date payments, they may ultimately file a foreclosure to recover the balance of what they are owed. Now, let me kind of explain this. A lot of folks, you might have heard, yeah, I don't own my house, the bank owns the house. And that's actually incorrect. That's false. And the reason why is because the bank actually gives you the house. You actually have the house, you own the house. However, they place a very large lien on the property, and that lien is called a mortgage. So the actual act of foreclosure is a lawsuit from the bank to the seller who's in default, requesting the house back or their collateral for the money that they put up for you to be able to buy the property. So essentially, foreclosure is a lawsuit from the mortgage company or from the lending institution against the seller in default. When a property goes into foreclosure, this allows the lender to foreclose any encumbrances or liens so that they can take the property and become its legal owner of record. This allows the lender to resell the property and recover their original loan amount, at least if they try to get their original loan amount, plus any expenses that they've incurred within the foreclosure process. A foreclosure can take a long time depending on the state it occurs in, and up until the property is publicly auctioned off, the homeowner still owns the property and has several choices available to both him or her. So again, just kind of go over that a little bit. The foreclosure, it can take a long time, it's very drawn out, and it's very costly for the bank. So when we say pre-foreclosure, this means that you acquire the property, or that at the moment, the stage of the property is before the foreclosure process has actually occurred, before the end of the foreclosure process. And this usually after 90 days of when the property is in default, that's when the bank starts the foreclosure process. At the end or the conclusion of the foreclosure is usually a sheriff's sale. And we'll probably talk a little bit more about that. So when we say pre-foreclosure, that means to acquire the property at any time before the public auction takes place, as I was talking about. It's to your advantage to contact the homeowner as soon as possible once they're in pre-foreclosure, because this gives you much more time to put together a deal and purchase the property. See, a lot of folks, I'll get phone calls, and these people will just be 1 or 2 weeks away from the auction. And really, although we'd love to help people out, there's really not much that we can do when it's that close to the auction. So we want to be able to get it as far back, and as soon as these folks are in default, we want to be able to know about it, because that allows us to be able to negotiate with the folks and be able to have a good win-win-win for the bank, for the homeowner, and for us, that's obviously the goal for short sales. Even though that it's commonly thought so, it's not true that if you buy a home in foreclosure, you're taking advantage of the homeowner's loss. This is very important. This isn't true because the lender made a loan in good faith, and the person who borrowed the loan amount agreed to repay it. If the borrower does not make payments as promised, then he or she has reneged on the original agreement. This leaves the lender out in the cold. Basically, in order for them to protect their financial interest, they may have to foreclose on the property as was originally agreed when the loan was originally made. In other words, the homeowner is indeed fully aware that the foreclosure is very likely a possibility should he or she become behind in mortgage payments. Foreclosure simply allows the lender to recoup its losses, or as much of them as possible. If you get involved, this solves the problem created by the homeowner's inability or unwillingness to make the mortgage payments as originally promised. So, it's not something strange. A lot of times when sellers call us, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea that they're going to be foreclosing on me," and oh wow. Most of the time, unless there's some kind of mess up with the mail or something like that, the homeowner is aware of what's going on. And if they're not, it really is the negligence of the homeowner. Now, there are those very severe and very rare cases that the bank did mess up, but usually the bank is very, very quick to figure out where the homeowner lives or how to get in touch with them, and to be able to let them know through big, bulky letters or through other correspondence that, hey, homeowner, your home is behind. You need to be able to get some help. They'll send dozens of letters sometime. So, too often, if the homeowner is facing foreclosure, he or she simply ignores it in the hopes that it will simply go away. However, this is not a problem that goes away, and it must be faced. If the owner does nothing, this means a foreclosure is certain, meaning that he or she is certain to lose the property. In addition, he or she will also incur a myriad of other problems, including loss of all equity built up in the home and a severely compromised credit report that takes years to repair. Now, in addition, not only to the credit, but they can also have what's called a deficiency judgment as well. And a deficiency judgment is actually a judgment that the bank gets after the home goes to auction for the difference of what the bank is, what they get at auction, and what the amount of the loan was originally for. For instance, let's say that the bank is owed $100,000 and it goes to sale, it's auctioned off at $70,000. The bank has a right to go after the seller with the difference, the $30,000, in what's called a deficiency judgment, as well as they can also use an 1099, or essentially say that the seller had income of $30,000. And so the banks, every single skyscraper, at least one of them in almost every large city is a bank. And there's a reason why, because they make lots of money, and there's a reason they usually get their cash. And they have so many different documents that when a homeowner is getting a house that they have to sign and sign and sign, and one of them is the ability to do all of these awful things that occurs when it happens. So that's another reason why sellers should really read through every single document. And even though that might take a little bit extra time and such, it's important for any type of legal documents, especially a $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 loan, that they know what they're getting into. Because a lot of loans are standard, but there are also a lot of differences, and there could be prepayment penalties and other things such. So very important, just a side tip for anyone, yourself or anyone, that if you're reading the loans, really make sure that you know what it is that you're signing up for. So again, that is a little bit about a brief discussion of pre-foreclosures in the first part of our article, which is investing in foreclosures. Why do short sales? So again, my name is Colin Andrews Egbert, and please check out the rest of this article. I'm going to be going through actually some of the different reasons why you should do foreclosure, and why it's a win for everyone included, for the bank, for the homeowner, and for the investor, which is us. So again, Colin Andrews Egbert, realestateinvestor.com, CEO and co-founder. Look forward to having you learn a lot more about pre-foreclosure and all the other great things. And if you're not already a member of realestateinvestor.com, make sure to check it out. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.